Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of our mini-series of the 4 most important aspects of Medicare that every beneficiary is concerned about. I just covered coverage options and eligibility in part 1. If you missed that, go back and check it out. So hopefully now that you understand your coverage options, you're probably somewhat aware of some of the mysterious eligibility criteria, enrollment deadlines, and potentially penalties for late enrollment. These are crucial topics to cover, so let's cover the most important ones today. And I'd love to really unpack how Medicare works. I would invite you to register for a Medicare Made Simple on-demand video by clicking the link below. This is a comprehensive look at Medicare and your health plan options. Plus, I'll cover in detail the enrollment periods and so much more. Plus, you get a copy of an easy-to-use guidebook when you register for our free videos. But let's take a look at the most common eligibility, deadline, and potential penalties for late enrollment today and cover those with you in just a second. Take a look at the most common eligibility rules and kind of guidelines, deadlines that may fall on Medicare beneficiaries, and then potential penalties if you don't act quickly enough that you can be charged penalties for not doing certain things. So eligibilities, really, if you think about the center line of your decision being around your 65th birthday, for you guys that are employed prior to being 65 years of age, if you have a employer group that you're part of that have 20 employees or less, you're going to have to go on Medicare Part A and Part B, regardless of what you do with your Social Security. Social Security has no bearing on what you choose when it comes to your Medicare health plan options or your eligibility for Medicare Part A and Part B. So you may suspend and not get your Social Security benefits until you're 70 years of age, which is fine. Has no bearing on the 65th birthday and decisions we make prior to, decisions we make, a few months prior turning 65 or a few months after. And so if you're employed by 20 employee group or less, you're going to have to enroll into Part A and Part B. It's just a rule and a regulation. Now, if you're not going to draw your Social Security, Medicare is not going to know that you want to enroll unless you physically enroll. Now, we have a guidebook that we can provide to you in the link below, and it walks you through exactly what to do when you're enrolling into your Part A and Part B. The second way of doing that is just calling and allowing us to be able to walk you through that process. It can, sometimes people do very, very well with doing it. Sometimes people don't. Try to go to the Social Security office or call and schedule a time to be able to talk to somebody. If you talk to somebody that knows what they're doing with the Social Security office, you're okay. If you don't, you're going to run into complications. It can get held up. If we do the application and we fax it in, we actually make you part of the process. Or if we need to have the capture information from your employer, we actually work with you to work with the employer HR department, gather the information or forms that are needed. There's a couple of forms that you would potentially have to do after the age of 65, but going on to Medicare, you're going to apply for your Medicare Part A and Part B if you are part of a group employer that's 20 or less. If you're 21 or more, you're typically going to only apply for your Part A. Now, after 65 years of age and beyond, if you're working for another year and a half, 3 years, 5 years, and you get to begin to retire and you're on an employer-based plan, you would want to go ahead and apply for your Part B prior to your employer coverage ending. You have so many days afterwards, but just to keep it simple, before your credible coverage with your employer ends, you want to apply for your Part B. Now, most of you guys at this point, prior to 65 and thereafter, have probably signed up for an SSA.gov account. If you haven't, the guidebook tells you how to do that. And or you've gone into Medicare.gov and you can guide through Medicare.gov to be able to apply for your Part B. Now, if you're totally confused at this point, guess what? You need to stop what you're doing, give us a call, or call a licensed professional that knows what they're doing to walk you through these steps. Our agency actually specializes, because we have a huge amount of our business that we write that are people turning 65 years of age or people that are coming off an employer-based plans. After the age of 65, you have some deadlines to be able to meet. One, you have to have credible coverage in Medicare's eyes, what's deemed as credible coverage for your prescription drug plan. If you choose not to go on a prescription drug plan and later on pick up a prescription drug plan past the eligibility window, guess what? You're going to be penalized 1% per accrued month thereafter that you qualified for prescription drug coverage. So let's just say your timeline for prescription drug plans ended December the 31st. You chose not to go on a drug plan. You had an employer-based plan that did not have credible coverage drugs benefits in it. And then you went for a year. You would have 12 months at the national prescription plan premium average, which usually is around 30-something cents a month. So you'd take 12 times that penalty with that 1% towards the national prescription premium average. It's a tongue twister. So then that would equate into however many months. If you go 3 years, it's 36 months. If you go, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So the goal is to eliminate those penalties. Another penalty is if you qualify for Medicare Part B and you deny Part B. In other words, when you're turning 65, you're on an employer-based plan that's 20 people or less, and you choose to deny your Part B when you should enroll into it, or call and ask people like us that have the ability to answer the questions and determine and guide you through what your options are, you're going to end up suffering a Part B penalty later on. So if you do inquire to apply for your Part B, it's an annualized 10% towards the prescription or Part B premium cost. So right now the Part B premium is $164.90. At the first of this year, it's going to go to $174.70. Whatever year you're in, if you have not chosen to go on Part B when you qualify for it, and you go a calendar year without it, you're going to have a 10% accrued penalty to that Part B premium amount for that year. So that penalty is going to be assessed, applied, and it will continue for the lifetime of the beneficiary. There's other deadlines and guidelines, and there's other potential penalties that you could incur. What I would encourage you guys to be able to do is sign up for our Medicare Made Simple on-demand webinar. It's a link below. You actually can register. We'll send you a copy of the video. You can watch it at your discretion, at your leisure time. Also, it provides you a guidebook. It's a simple to use guidebook, and it goes over some of these common questions. It goes over the eligibility, deadlines, potential penalties. It goes into the throes of how Medicare Part A works, Part B works, Part C, your Medicare Advantage plans work, Part D, your drug coverage. It also explains how Medicare supplements work. It lays out all the different options and allows you to understand how Medicare works. Some of you guys like to get the details. Some of you guys just want somebody to guide you through what I call at a 30,000 foot view of how Medicare works, and then help guide you toward what's best for you. Either way, we can help with that. The guidebook and the on-demand video for Medicare Made Simple is here for you to help guide you and educate you on your health plan options. Guys, we'll be following up this mini series that we're doing in the third section here in just a second. Hold tight, we'll talk to you in a moment.